Hi, this is Jeff from BlackpoolUnlimited.com, and today we're going to look at selling. In our day-to-day life, we sell and we buy all the time. We might not think about it, but we do, whether we buy from online or we go into a local shop, we buy something. And all the time we're selling either a concept, getting someone to do something for us, whether we're selling online ourselves. But the reality is, it's something we do daily, but we just don't actually think about it. The simple truth is, if you've got a business and you want that business to be a success, you have to put your product or your service in front of a prospective buyer. So what makes a good salesperson? Well, it's quite simple, really. You need to be a good listener. The less you interrupt, the more you'll learn. By asking questions and establishing needs, you're actually halfway to a sale. Knowledge is power. Can you back up what you're saying with hard evidence? Always accept that the buyer has a point of view. He may have genuine concerns. Empathise, acknowledge, accept. After all, it is their business. Try and bridge the gap between the perceived issue and the reality. You're selling what your product does for them. They just might not have seen it yet. If you get enough needs, bang, you will hit the bull. So how do we find potential customers? Now, the process is different from B2B to retail services, etc. So some of this video may not be applicable to yourself. But okay, let's assume you're selling out there to other businesses. This is for you. So we start by making a list. It may be online. We'll go online and we'll find out the kind of businesses that might need what you've got to sell. We join different groups on the social media channels. We speak to people we know. People you know might be customers. We talk to our existing client base, see if they've got any referrals for us. Maybe do a survey, use something like SurveyMonkey, MailChimp and other, marketing ideas. You might even pay for a list. An obvious thing to do is to get out yourself and go to trading estates or the high street. Go along, walk through the door, ask if you can have a compliment slip, find out some information on the various people that you're dealing with. It costs you nothing. They can only say no. And the more compliment slips you've got, the more names, addresses, phone numbers, maybe the buyer's name. Yeah, far more than a piece of paper. So please remember, this list that you're compiling, it's not static. It needs updating all the time. Ask for referrals, check the newspaper for anything new, any new openings, stay current, keep your eye on social media, who else is joining the groups. Yeah, so always make sure your list is up to date every day and it's growing. So let's start selling. If you wanted to site a vending machine in this building, what would you need to know? Well, you'd need to know the size of the building, maybe how many staff work in there, what facilities do they have, what are the opening hours, what facilities have they got nearby, what kind of age profile is it, who is the decision maker. Okay, so once you know that, you're actually in control, aren't you? Because knowledge is power. If you match this knowledge with the benefits that your product can bring to them, you must be onto a winner. The more knowledge you have, the less chance there is that you'll have to say to a buyer, I'll get back to you on that one, I'm not quite sure. Yeah? Nobody likes to deal with somebody who doesn't actually have the answers or can actually speak on behalf of his company or his product. Having the benefits, can replace a response, so what? Okay, so you've done your homework. Yeah? You found out all there is to know about your prospective customer. What you need to do now is take some time out, sit down, think, and work on your hook line. It might be, with this example, that you might use something like, if I could provide you with a refreshment facility that stops your staff leaving the site and enjoying refreshments, and that saves you time and money in labour terms, is there something that you might be interested in? Remember, your hook line needs to say in only a few words what your product can do for them. Yeah, it might be that's your opportunity to ask for the order there and then. You'd be surprised. Always be closing. I've seen more sales completed in minutes rather than hours. Okay, we're ready to go through the door. Yeah, first impressions matter. Make sure your vehicle's clean and tidy. Yeah, it could be the first thing that the receptionist or the buyer sees, and that first impression could be your last one. Park responsibly. Don't park on yellow lines. Don't take up about 3 car parking spaces in the car park. Make sure you're neat and tidy. Yeah. After all, you're going to go in front of somebody. Yeah, you don't want to become seen as some grubby car salesman from the 1950s. Yeah. Make sure you're neat, tidy, and professionally dressed. Jeans and a t-shirt may fit your image at home, but does it match your product's image? Is it what the buyer would expect to see? Make sure your point of sale material is pristine and clean. Have your visuals ready. Make sure your presentation is checked. Take a deep breath. You've got this. They need what you've got to sell. Now, the receptionist can make or break you. Treat them with respect. Be pleasant. Don't waste their time. They're probably very busy. Give them your name, starting with your Christian name. And obviously your company. Be proud of your company. Yeah, don't shy from it. Tell them who you work for. Yeah, ask for the buyer by his Christian name if you have it. After all said and done, she or he doesn't know that you don't know the buyer. Make sure the receptionist remembers you for the right reasons. We have to pass the gatekeeper and we have to meet the buyer. That is your number one objective. Fantastic. We've got to the buyer. Be proud of who you are and who you represent. Maintain eye contact. Offer your hand. Start with your Christian name as well as your surname and ensure that you give a really positive statement about the company you work for. Try and establish who you're talking to and, if possible, that person is the decision maker. A good tip I learned many years ago is start with something positive about the buyer or their business. You can often find things, maybe a picture on the wall, or some nice things on the car park. It may have a really nice landscape garden. But let's assume he's just won an award. You can start with, I notice you've won a Queen's Award for Industry. You must be so proud. What kind of difference has it made to your business? What you're doing is you're showing interest in both the buyer and his business. And we've not even talked business. Right, we're up and running now, aren't we? So this is the approach bit. It's not what you're selling. It's the fact that it's bigger, it's better, it's the only one they need. They need your product. Hit them with your grab line. We found this out earlier. If I could provide you a refreshment facility that stops staff leaving the site to enjoy a soft drink, as well as saves you time and money in labour terms, is this something that would interest you? Don't be shy. It's what you've come to talk to them about. We can start presenting now, can't we? So here we go. We're in the listing phase right now. Always remember, listen more than you speak. Good salespeople listen more than they speak in order to gain trust, knowledge, and confirmation of any buying signals that may be out there. Listening buys you thinking time. It allows you time to breathe. Many times the buyers will do your work for you and they'll create the needs right in front of you. So how do we establish needs? It couldn't be more simple. All you need to do is ask open questions. Who are you? How long have you been trading? How many staff do you have? What facilities do you have on site? Where do your staff go during break time? Who, how, what, why, where and when. These are your friends. Use them. Once you get used to using these simple words, you'll be amazed how easy it is to conduct a sale. Okay, so we've learnt a lot from our questions. What we're now going to do is we're going to make sure that we establish some needs. For every feature that we show them, you make sure that you've got a bespoke benefit for the buyer. Show added value all the time. Make use of your visuals, your marketing literature. Ensure your image you show attracts the right demographic to their site. If you've got a promotional video and it's not too long, maybe show it. Remember, the feature's what it is. A benefit is what it does to add value. Now, if you want to attract young females to your product and you can afford Taylor Swift, maybe this one's for you. Throughout your presentation, keep testing understanding. Make sure that the buyer is aware and is on board with everything that you're saying. So, you currently have no refreshment facilities on site, is that correct? Okay. And your staff have to leave the site for this? Okay. And does that take a lot of time? Does it cost you money? Am I on the right lines here? What you're doing when you're testing understanding is you're actually leading the prospective buyer down a tunnel. And at the end of that tunnel is the end game, him or her purchasing what you've got to sell. Now, it's likely that the buyer's going to have some objections. Don't worry. Stay calm. Yeah? Acknowledge the objections. Listen. Nod. Let them finish, then refer back to your questioning and your research. Answer the objection fully. Ask if you've satisfied that objection. You may need to answer a number of objections, but stay calm. Have the answers ready at all times. Fantastic. It's all gone really, really well, and we can now close that deal. Yeah? So what we're going to do now is we're going to ask some very, very simple techniques. Direct. Are you ready to order? Assumption. Should we deliver Wednesday or Friday? A concession. If I split your delivery into 2 parts, have we got a deal? Objection. Is there any further reason why we shouldn't proceed with this sale? If you've done your research, everything should go well. But you haven't finished yet. Make sure before you finish and leave those premises, and if he's happy, ask the question. I don't suppose you know anybody else around here who might be interested in what I've got to sell, have you? Do you mind if I use you for referral? Can I put you on my mailing list for marketing? So there you have it. Knowledge is power. Because you did your homework and you've demonstrated confidence and belief in your product, you can achieve absolutely everything. So what have we learned? Well, we've learned that lists are our lifeblood. Knowledge is power because knowledge puts you in control. Your approach matters. First impressions may well be your last. You need a very good hook line. 60 seconds might sound a long time, but it isn't. Your presentation, listen more than you speak. Features and benefits, know what the customer values. It's not what it is, it's what it does. Testing understanding, yeah? All the way through a presentation, make sure that the buyer is on board with what you're saying. Get lots of nods. Learn the techniques, it's easy. Handle objections. Turn them into an advantage. If you know what they're going to say to you and you've got the answers, and those answers can lead to some fantastic benefits for them, don't be afraid of objections. Closing techniques, there are simply loads of them. Yeah? You don't need to be clever. Just ask for the order. Always be closing. Ask for a referral. Knowledge 100% power. So what are my top tips? Be happy. After all, we've got a pulse. Smile. It won't kill you. Buyers love somebody who's happy. Believe. Believe in yourself. Believe in your company. If you don't, why should they? Enthusiasm. Do you know what? It's contagious. Nobody likes boring people. Self-motivation. Every second counts. I am here to win. Self-believe. They can smell fear, you know. Time. Many a sale's lost through a lack of respect for time. Your buyer's busy. Get in, get out. Be positive. Oh, dear me. Negativity is a well switch off. Stay current. Always know what's going on. Know your customer. Know the trade. Know the industry. Keep up to date with social media. Knowledge is power. Service. Do you know what? Price isn't the be all and end all. Service is. Make sure you add value. If you can get a referral, do so. Integrity and honesty. Always deliver what you promise. Never let the buyer down. If he rejects you and tells you no, it's not personal. He may have a different reason for not accepting the deal. Don't take it personally. Just move on to the next one. Tomorrow is another day. Never give up. Always have solutions. After all said and done, you are the expert. Always be closing. ABC of selling. The best advice I will ever give you. So there you have it. Anyone can sell. This has been Jeff from Blackpool Unlimited, and if you want more information, please get in touch with us, visit our website, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Please take care and stay safe.